I really don't think you're actually, honest to goodness, ready. You claim that you're ready, but I have serious doubts that you are, as you probably just will agree with me after trying to understand what I just said before we turn the mics on. Welcome to the eve of Friday, the day before a bunch of big guys decide they've spent enough hours on the job the first 4 days and make an appearance in casual clothes, ready to make their escape. I'm the sarcastic, deplorable member of the live and local team, and I'm using my witness protection identity of Rayford Brown for the first half of today's show.
I'm Chris Marks, and I'm going to stay that way the whole show.
You sure?
I hope.
And I'm Lee Barrows, and I'm just staying quiet.
Barrows or burrows or borrows?
Lady
It's actually Barrows, but
Say-
being everyone
say-
says
you-
Barrows,
see,
just like whatever.
Since you can't even get it right. Okay. Islands like the combination Dutch-French island of St. Martin will see quite a few corporate jets zipping in for a long weekend beginning tomorrow. Generally, it starts happening around early afternoon to mid-afternoon on Fridays. The passengers are ready to party, play golf, and conduct special business meetings
Let's
that
go.
last as long as it takes to play a round of golf. What a way to live. It's okay, all of those doing business, whether it's shopping for groceries or insurance, when they pay the tab. That's what we do. Perks of being part of the rich crowd, I guess. Wonder what would happen. I wonder about a lot of things in the wee morning hours and late at night. I wonder what would happen if the common folks out there like us would just mount a revolt, gather intelligence to see what corporations own or lease jets, then boycott those companies, making sure they know why. Sure, the stockholders would not like it. I bet you the price of groceries might start to come down if we boycott it enough.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Okay, so it's
Okay.
Thursday, and we're getting ready for the next round of high school football playoffs. Jacksonville Daily News sports editor Chris Miller Papa Top will be joining us in a bit to talk about the Jacksonville Cardinals, undefeated in both regular season and the playoffs so far,
Yes.
hoping for a chance to become the top dog in the North Carolina 6A conference in just about, 3 weeks or something?
Yeah,
Whatever. I don't know.
we win this week, which is the third round,
We're
fourth
going to
round.
even have to play it?
No,
You just said we win it?
When we win,
Okay.
this week. Sanford's offense is a running game. They're going to have a hard time running against our front line.
Mhm.
We are well balanced.
We have
We
become
got
much
passing.
more well
Yeah,
balanced
yeah.
than we were
Anthony-
at the beginning of the season.
Anthony and
Oh,
Saran with the passing.
I would.
And
Please, this punch is up there. Just go through the
Yes.
doors and take a left and take another left.
Yesterday,
She
I,
raised her hand.
yesterday, I watched
Yes.
Chris Miller with his Down East Prep Report
Yeah.
on Man Cave Media. They do
Yeah.
it every Wednesday.
Yeah, we got to get Steve.
And that's Steve Goodson.
We got to get Steve and
And,
Chris in
um,
here one day.
Guess who their special guest was on the show?
Bo Williams.
Amari Pearson.
Was he?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Cool.
Amari's awesome.
Yay.
You know,
He's the man.
he is such a laid back,
We need to
quiet
have him
young
autograph
man.
some pictures for us. We could put those on the wall around here.
Well, we're going to do some. I enjoyed listening to him, and I enjoyed Chris's rant at the very end. And I agree with you 100%, Chris. And it
She
has to
never
do
agrees with
with
anybody 100%, including herself.
it has to do with, you've got your playoffs, your school's playoffs, and then like say Friday night we have a big playoff game.
Yep.
And what if Jacksonville basketball had decided to have a game the same night?
Mhm.
Et cetera, different things like that. And I know it's hard to plan in advance for your tournaments and in your playoffs and then all the other sports coming up. But he made some very valid points. In fact, I think he said something about it last week when he called in. But yeah, it was
Well,
a good show yesterday with Amari on
back
there.
when, way
Mhm.
back when, a long, long time ago it was, in the 60s. Basketball
long.
was played on Tuesdays and Thursday nights.
That's correct.
Right.
Football was played on Friday nights.
Mhm.
Correct.
I don't recall, but I am reasonably sure we had a couple of crossovers there at the end of the football season
Yeah.
who were having to play basketball too
Yes.
and trying not to get hurt on Tuesday or Thursday nights. Because our coach, Coach Andy at the time, he would not have been happy.
Coach Wilmore. Andy,
So,
Eric
anyway.
Gilmore.
Coach
But
Andy.
Okay, we'll be talking about sports. on today because, we've kind of gotten into it a little bit lately. We enjoy local high school football. And if the Cardinals were, already out of it and somebody else was in it, I'd be going to their games because I reached a point now. I'm not happy with just 10 games.
We still have North Side in it. Go North Side.
Go Monarchs.
So first thing this morning, we had a little information we shared briefly yesterday that we would tell you more about it when we had more about it, because we don't do social media quoting them because for obvious reasons. For those of you who have found out the hard way, dealing with what turned out to be a very complicated, complex story to unravel. The mess on social media Tuesday was confusing. Knowing something about the case yesterday, and I kind of found out about Monday night, Tuesday night, whatever night it was when it happened. I chose to save the story until we could get it broken down, making it easier for you and me to understand. Starting chronologically, here's where we go. Tuesday afternoon, about 2:30, Jacksonville police responded to a call about a car that had been on Doris Avenue in the city. As a standard operating procedure, the PD notified all law enforcement agencies in the region, throughout the region. That would include the sheriff's office, of course. An hour later at 3:30, the Onslow Sheriff's Office received a call about a carjacking. Happened at the White Oak High School on Piney Green Road. Crazy. A dude, armed, forced the instructor of a driver's ed car and his passengers out of the car. He then left the area in the vehicle.
Crazy.
Nobody got hurt, thank God. Onslow Sheriff's deputies quickly found the car. They spotted it, took off, gave chase. They got up to about 115 miles per hour. Not a good sign ever. The driver of the stolen car lost control and crashed into a home on Riggs Road. The driver was hurt, sustaining non-life-threatening injuries. He was taken first to Naval Hospital, stabilized, and then transferred to New Hanover for further treatment.
Wow.
33-year-old Dominic Devontae Evans of Hubert faces a host of charges. Jacksonville police will also be in connection with the theft of the car earlier in the afternoon. That was a confusing afternoon, and for me, I'm glad that we waited until the facts from both law enforcement agencies involved were put together. Better than the rambling mess I was seeing on social media, going to the left of the road, to the right of the road, down the middle of the road, and some every now and then they had something right. Most often confusing. Now, what do? I dug a little deeper.
Oh, you're going to tell us about Devon?
For the man involved, the one at the center of this mess, Dominic Evans. He was arrested back in 2017 for receiving and possessing a gun and was given a suspended sentence, ding dong, and placed on probation. He was a bad boy and had that probation revoked in 2019, ding dong, and he spent 90 days in the county jail. Still failing to behave, Mr. Evans did another 90 days, ding dong, stint in jail in 2021, all for the same charge. Some of the reasons for the additional jail sentences, though, included convictions for possession of a gun by a felon in 2019, possession of drugs in 2018 and again in 2019, and common law robbery in 2019. His sentence for those crimes was a minimum, here's what the judge gave him, a minimum of 18 months for those 3 crimes, not to serve any more than 2.5 years. Minimum of 18 months, maximum of 2.5 years. However, by hook or crook, Evans was paroled, set free after spending 3.5 months in prison. Paroled, turned loose on society. Now he faces more charges. Thank goodness so far he has not hurt anyone. He's had the opportunity other than himself. For the legal system, my only question is how many body bags of innocent people will it take to see justice served? That is your challenge.
Well, let's just go do a protest on the courthouse steps.
Well,
think about it.
Really?
Does it take body bags? Body bags seem to get a lot of attention. When they're laid out there in front of places.
Right.
Why don't we just lay out some body bags in front of the courthouse?
That was bold. And I mean, this guy had no qualms, no fear, broad daylight on school property.
Yeah.
taken possession of a vehicle.
I don't know how
with-
many charges he's got, but it's going to be a
Yeah,
bunch.
oh,
It'll be more.
yes.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen what he's charged with yet, but he's still in the hospital.
Could you imagine that the instructor and those students? Oh man, that's crazy.
I took a little law, very little, obviously, but I think that the laws that are written on the books need to be updated.
The laws are good.
Well, I mean,
The laws are good.
The punishments.
Yes.
The punishments are good. The punishments are great. This guy could have faced a lot of time in jail, in prison, and he was given some time, but he was given too many opportunities, and every opportunity that he was given, he committed more crimes and was arrested for it and convicted of them, and then given 3.5 months, and he could have been given 2.5 years. No. Here's the problem with that. It was out of the hands of the judge and out of the hands of the district attorney, out of the hands of the police. You know whose hands it was in?
Parole board.
The parole board, because they paroled him after 3.5 months.
So my first question is this: do we have a parole board here in Onslow County?
The parole board's in Raleigh.
Yeah, we have parole officers, but not.
We have probation and parole guys here too.
Mhm.
They go out and they arrest these people. They inspect their houses. They do all sorts of things,
Yeah,
and
they do.
they arrest them.
We
They,
actually had at our last Crime Stopper meeting a parole the head of the parole officers division with us, and the numbers that she had of the amount of parolees versus the number of parole officers was
amazing, isn't it?
amazing, unbelievable how overworked.
The
Parole
cool thing,
officers
the
are.
good thing is local law enforcement, all law enforcement, if they find a guy on parole or on probation and parole, they're different, but same situation, or served by the same law. They find somebody out there. Oh, they find Lee out there. She was arrested. She was sentenced, and she's been released on parole for committing whatever crime she was done. So she's out on parole, right? They find her committing any other crime.
Still in hot.
They can
dogs.
arrest her not only for the crime that she is committing now, but for the parole violation. And then the parole board, the parole officers will take over at that point in time, prosecute her for that. But the problem is, she's on parole. We'll put her back on parole. We'll add her back on parole. She's still on parole. What? No, the way it's supposed to be done. If you screw up when you're on parole or when you're on probation, you get to serve the whole time that you were originally sentenced for. That's what it should be. That's the way it was designed. And is it implemented that way? Nope. Almost never.
Unless they were in the Judge Brown courtroom, Judge R. Brown courtroom.
That's not me.
Ara Brown.
Yeah.
Judge Ara Brown.
That's not me.
Judge Rayford Brown.
That would be the court of realism. Wake up time.
The
Wake
maximum
up,
sentence
y'all.
is 15 years, and I am sentencing you to 15 years.
Maximum sentence is 15 years. I'm giving you an extra 10 points for bad behavior because I know you're going to do it. You get another 2 years. I'm doing that in advance of what you're going to do.
And then the bailiff is standing there with his hand on the lever.
There goes another one. Dun, dun,
So there
next.
should be, those things that you go up to the banks, the drive-ins, and they got those little tubes. That
Oh yeah,
go
the
through that. They
tubes.
need big ones in the courtroom, the size of a man or a woman, and going straight to Central. What do you think?
That's a good.
That's a long trip.
It'd save a lot of money.
Look at the gas it would save.
I know, it really, seriously, it'd save a
And
lot
if
of money.
if there ever happens to be a log jam anywhere along the way, that's going to be a big mess.
Some of our deputies right here in Onslow would love that.
Oh yeah,
As many trips as they
we
are.
could keep
Yeah.
the deputies in Onslow County that have to transport these
Mhm. Crazy
scums that have
people.
been convicted.
Scums.
That have been convicted. We could save a lot of money, and they could go out and actually enforce the law
Right.
around here.
Right.
God, what a solution we have.
I agree with Chris. It's not the laws, and I wouldn't say it's totally not the judges, though some of them I wonder about some of the decisions they make. But it's enforcing the penalties. And I'm with both of you. I mean, we've let too much slide. I mean, somebody on probation, like you say, the next time it could be body bags, Rayford.
Yeah, it
They
will
let
be.
this guy
At
like,
some point in
oh,
time,
okay.
it will be. This guy's got 2 gun convictions on him so far. So far.
Yeah.
He's going to have a 3rd one after this one.
Right.
This will be his 3rd time at
We've
bat
seen
for
so
gun
much of
convictions,
that.
for guns.
I was curious that the vehicle that he was using was a driver's ed.
They're small little cars.
They're small little cars, but they should have regulators on 115 miles an hour. Whoa.
You're the second person to say that.
Thank you.
The first one was me.
Okay.
In the middle of the night last night, I said, okay, why doesn't this hang? I mean, school buses have governors on them.
Right.
Why don't driver's ed cars have governors installed on them?
You know, it's crazy.
He would have never got to 115.
Their office, that driving school office, is right next to at the end of my street.
Mhm.
And that little row of buildings, their businesses, that's where they're housed at. And I was like,
But are those the private
Whoa.
ones?
yeah,
They're-
it's
they're
a
private.
private agency.
Yeah, they're
It's a
private people
private
that do it.
business that does it.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I don't think the schools do it anymore, do they?
I don't
I
know.
don't think
No.
so. They don't have drivers ed.
Actually, they do. My
not
granddaughter,
sure.
my granddaughter took one
Through the state or through the school
through the
system?
school system.
Okay.
Yeah,
I took it through the school system.
That's what I did.
And,
I took mine through the school system too.
I taught the instructor a few things.
which was well.
How to
Mine,
drive.
You did.
How to hide.
mine was fun because the young lady that was in our car, so it was just 3 of us. She lived out near Dixon, so she would drive from Jacksonville High School to Dixon, and then we'd get to drive back from.
Yeah.
Who was the high school teacher? His last name was Irwin. He's related to the lawyers. His last-
Alex Irwin.
He was a school teacher there at Jacksonville High.
Irwin.
His,
Not
his
when I
last
was
name
there.
was Irwin. Anyway, he was my driver's ed instructor. Yeah.
Oh, when I
guy.
took it, our brakes were our feet. Actually, they were the gas pedals too.
Were you were in there with Mr.
Fred.
Flintstone, right?
Fred.
Gotcha.
Okay, Fred.
We do have a little bit of a possible cold fronts moving through the eastern North Carolina. Temperatures dropping a
Right.
little bit. High
little
pressure
bit.
is rebuilding offshore though, and above normal temperatures are coming right back. So
Mhm.
don't get used to this frigid conditions of 45 degrees. It's going to get a little bit
Frigid.
warmer.
Oh.
Northeasterly winds today offshore 10 to 15 knots, diminishing to 5 to 10 this afternoon, 2 to 3 foot seas. They're 6 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop this afternoon. Easterly winds tomorrow around 5 knots. Good. Becoming southwesterly in the afternoon. Seas about 2 feet. Sounds and rivers flat, increasing to a light chop in the afternoon. Saturday, southwesterly winds 15 to 20 with a gust of 25. Seas 3 to 5. Sounds and rivers are going to be a choppy.
Today, partly sunny with a high near 64. Northeast wind around 6 miles per hour, becoming calm in the afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 50. Friday, mostly cloudy with a high near 70. Going into Friday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 60. Yes. Saturday, a chance of rain after 1 p.m. Partly sunny with a high near
After the parade's
79.
over.
After the parade.
What was the heat index?
Heat
400.
index was -1.
Amateur radio club out there, the guys out there for the With the Spotters Network, bright and early in the morning. Well, it's early. It's not bright right now. And
No, it's
Randy out there in the Southwest, I just cranked up his golf cart this morning. It's 47 degrees there at the time, 95% humidity. He had, as he put it, 1.1 mile per hour wind.
1 point.
Yeah. Joe out in the borough, he had 48 degrees in Swansboro. It was cloudy there. And over at Emerald Isle, where he ran on over to Emerald Isle so he could get in his morning walking, it was 50 degrees, a little bit warmer, not much. Light winds at the time, and he had just a little surf over at Emerald Isle, not much. In the back swamp area, Lee, 46 degrees, 93% humidity, winds out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour, no rain. You know, you can't get all this kind of stuff on this pinpoint type of stuff, but you'll find out temperatures do vary even around the neighborhoods here. Dale up in River Bend had 46 degrees, 96% humidity, had no wind, no rain, light northeasterly winds at Cedar Point, Ward was reporting in 48 degrees, 92% humidity, no rain. And Onslow Bay, Ken is out of town. He's headed south.
Safe travels, Ken.
Yeah, down to Florida. In the Woodlands, she had at the time 46 degrees, 88% humidity. Northeasterly winds 2 to 4 with some gusts to 5. I think you said no rain.
7.
Huh?
7.
7. Okay.
I was like,
Here at the studio, since I've been up forever, it seems like now, forever since 2 o'clock. Temperature was all over the place. It was 48 degrees early this morning, about 3 o'clock. 48. Dropped down to 43 by 5 o'clock. It's now back up to 45.
Having a heat wave.
It's up and down, up and down. Don't like the temperature? Wait a little bit. It's changing. 97% humidity, light winds overnight, and they are non-existent right now. No wind, and we had no extra rain in the rain gauge. Last measurable rain was on the 10th of November.
Can I share a great story from yesterday? Kathy and I were to meet a group of, we thought just a couple at Missions Barbecue for Wreaths Across America. It was the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association.
Oh, okay, cool.
And they had done a breakfast and said they were donating the monies for that. So we went and met with them there yesterday. Their motorcycle association showed up. We were expecting 2. Yeah, there was about a dozen of them. And they presented a check to us for $800.
Oh.
I just want to thank them.
Nice going, guys. Nice going.
They're going to come out to Onslow Memorial Park on December 13th and help lay the wreaths there. So just so wonderful that some of the organizations have stepped up, as well as the family here, and a lot of individuals. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see everybody that's ever donated this year's name is on there.
And that's what it takes.
That's what it takes.
It's constant.
Yeah.
A little bit here, a little bit there, all adds up.
It does. We're up to, I believe, 96 boxes, and each box has 12 wreaths in it.
So we're 1,100 plus wreaths.
Yeah.
Now, when they deliver your boxes for the veteran cemetery, are they going to deliver those at the same time they deliver the other groups?
Yes. So they'll deliver Coastal first, then they'll call us and tell us we're on our way to Onslow Memorial for us to unload the truck.
When they deliver to Coastal, is your shipment going to be with the other group shipment at Coastal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I'd like to help that group out a little bit here, because there's a lot of confusion going on with their ceremony this year.
Right.
From 9 until 10, they call it family and friends.
Right.
And so family and friends can go from 9 to 10, get the wreath and lay it at their loved one's site.
Right.
Right.
Then at 12 o'clock, they'll have a general ceremony.
Right.
So I don't know that there's a ceremony at 9. That's not our.
I think it's just pick up
your wreath and go, and then
lay it on the grave.
And then the ceremony will be at 10. For Onslow Memorial Park, everything's at 9 a.m. The whole celebration.
It used to be that when the Vietnam Veterans Association was collecting money, and you've got the Civil Air Patrol that's collecting money, that the Vietnam veterans, what they would do, their group, is they would write down a list of everybody they had bought for specific graves. And they would go out there the day before and put those wreaths down to make sure that those graves got covered. Now, I know over the years, it's like everybody comes at one time. We have a ceremony. The families get to go first, put their wreaths down, and then the general public.
Are those wreaths at Onslow, for instance, are they earmarked for a particular family? Do you know?
So we do have grave site specific for Onslow Memorial, and then because
I've got one out there.
Yes, Onslow Memorial doesn't have a database,
right?
So, I mean, obviously there's civilians based out there, so they've donated white marking flags, and I'm going to go out there and walk the cemetery and find the veterans.
A lot of walking.
Find the veterans cemetery and put a flag there so that the day of the event, what volunteers we have will know which cemeteries go.
Because like my dad's, it'll have the branch of service out there.
Yes.
That's what we did. You was
Yes.
there.
That's what we did at Jacksonville Cemetery that year.
Yeah.
We had all the extra
Mhm.
reefs. We went over to Jacksonville Cemetery.
Yeah.
We walked the whole cemetery and looked for any tombstone
Yeah.
they served. And then come to find out later that Phil Law had a list already.
Oh, did
We're
he?
like, Phil,
Where were you?
where were you? Well, he was out there walking with us, but we had found out later that he was able to obtain a list of every veteran buried in that
Well,
cemetery.
we need to bring Phil back in here to slap him one
I'd
day.
like to see Phil
I would
again.
too.
I
We-
miss Phil.
We actually, when we went to try to get the permit for the pinning ceremony, we asked about that cemetery because we wanted to respect that cemetery too. So we would have picked up that one.
Right.
We were told they're owned individually.
Yes.
And so, we don't have any extras right now.
You can't. Well, there's a cemetery right down there, 17 South. I
Yeah.
think it's the Holly Shelter. or
Yeah, I was
whatever.
asked about that
And
yesterday.
there's some veterans buried there too. So
The problem is we don't have any extras right now.
Yep.
We don't
Right.
have enough to cover
thing about
everybody.
it is, if you have a loved one that's buried somewhere else,
Yeah.
Buy one,
and you buy one, and then
And
go pick it up
that's
when
right.
they come
and you
in
can take it to
and
wherever.
take it with you. Like I would like to take one of the
Mhm.
I haven't decided yet.
What?
Take it to my ex-husband's grave.
Well-
He's buried in Swansboro.
Well, actually, Charles K. from Excel Buy, who
Mhm.
made a very nice donation, they're going to pick up their wreath and take it to his dad's site
Yeah.
in Swansboro. And that's fine.
You can do that too.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Right.
It's all about the veterans. That's what I want people to understand. It's all about
Ain't
the
about
veterans.
us, y'all.
Now let me ask you this:
Yes.
the ones the gray specific reefs that were purchased through you,
Mhm.
and the grave specific reefs that were purchased through the Civil Air Patrol. Are they all going to be together in one pile? So when we go pick them up to place on the graves on Friday morning, how's that going to
Okay,
work?
so
He's gonna find out.
If they bought it through another group
Right.
and it's grave specific for Coastal Carolina State Veteran Cemetery, it will be there. We didn't get no support we got no support for Alonzo Memorial Park, so those will be different. I don't want to say different.
Another case.
A
Right,
different
right,
case,
I
but the
understand
ones say so for your dad
Right. I bought through you.
through us, they'll be at Coastal Carolina
So
State
when I
Veteran
go there that
Cemetery.
morning at 9 a.m.
Right,
to pick up a reef,
right.
it'll be okay.
Yes,
All right. That's
Yes.
okay.
yes. So you
Yeah, that
just
morning we may shut down here at 8:30.
on Saturday.
That's Saturday.
It's
Oh,
Saturday morning.
it's 13th.
The 13th is Saturday.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was.
You missed it by one day, Rayford. It could have been your day, Friday the 13th. Oh, you love Friday the 13th. Came out here wearing his Jason mask. It's not.
But
It's not a mask. I'm wearing a mask now.
Excuse me.
I mean, they're both gonna. It's both gonna be great. That the veterans that get a wreath for the ones that don't. We'll shoot. The event is December 13th. Wreaths honoring our fallen veterans will again begin on December 14th, raising for 2026.
There you go. That's good.
That's basically what you did because I think you and I bought some reefs
We did
right away.
after the
Immediately,
cutoff.
On the
Because
13th last year.
They were on sale by
Yeah.
2 get 1.
Whatever they were, yeah.
By 2 get
3 for
3,
2.
but 1 free.
3 for
Right.
2.
Right. 3 for 2.
Okie dokie. We'll be talking more about it. We still got a little time, but not much. Get your money in now. Time's
Please.
wasted,
Money in
okay?
now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take. Prices at the grocery stores, higher insurance premiums, people have noticed, and they're no longer willing to wait for the country to get back on track without spouting off. As I would expect, as I would anticipate, the same from you, they're making noise these days. As former President Truman, way back when, told America, when things were not looking the greatest in the world, the one person to blame would be him, the president. In his words, the buck stops here. The current president, while not a politician, admittedly, probably should understand that much of America lives from paycheck to paycheck. And it's pretty tough to budget what you can spend when there's a 20 to 30% jump in basic food prices overnight. Not talking about ribeyes and lobster tails or anything like that. I'm talking about general stuff. The folks who can afford any luxury items, including food, they don't really care about trivial price jumps. 20 to 30% and jump for a carton of eggs doesn't mean crap to them. Same thing for gas. They didn't have any issues with it. In the case of those with fixed incomes, those who have retired, they often have to decide whether they eat or get their prescriptions filled. You see, in a lot of cases, retirees are on life-preserving meds. The older you get, the more stuff it takes to keep you breathing. That's as simple as that.
Right, right.
Don't get me wrong. I'm completely in favor of ridding this country of those people who are here illegally. They are sucking off a bunch of our money. They're getting a lot of the taxes that we, the people, pay. Only an idiot would believe that they don't cost the rest of us money. At the same time, the president needs to understand that spending tons of money to get them out of here is as bad as having to pay for them to stay. We got to figure out something here. It's costing us, the taxpayers, money to pick these people up. Look at the bunches of ICE agents that went into Charlotte, to Chicago, to Portland, to everywhere else to round up the illegals. Do you think they went in there for free? No, there's room and board. There's also all the expenses just to get there, the expenses to while they're there eating. It costs a lot of money to round these people up. Leaving them there cost us a lot of money too. We're caught between a rock and a hard place. Maybe we should consider cheaper ways of sending them packing. Don't ask me what that is. I probably am not the one to suggest it. I want to see ICE agents paid to move these people out of this country. Maybe it could be done in smaller doses. I don't have an answer. This is a big logistics nightmare, what's happening, the way it's going. Millions have already been deported. Good. That's millions that are not using our tax dollars. But the rest of the back here still, we're having to pay them to be here, and we're having to pay to round them up. Something's wrong. Along those lines, why are Democrats and others so determined to spend taxpayer money to keep the courts tied up with these cases? They want us to take every one of these illegals and house them, let them stay in this country, but make sure that we pay their bills so they will show up in a court to determine whether we're going to kick them out of this country sooner or later. Why? Why do we need, if you're here illegally, you can't prove you don't have papers to say that you're here legally. Why is there a need for a court? Tell me that.
Well, I can't, because there is no logical reason.
Go, leave. You don't have grounds to be here. Get out.
910-333-0139. 0139. I just got lost for a second, because when I was thinking about it, logically, there is no reason.
There is no reason. Let me tell you what, I don't have to go to court. If I find somebody on my property and I tell them to get off, I don't need to go to court to get a piece of paper to tell you to get off my property. You're going to leave my property. You are going to leave my property.
Yeah.
The choice is how, and that's all on you. You are going to get off my property. It belongs to me. Y'all from other countries that are here illegally, not invited, don't have the proper paperwork. You sneak into my house, and God, I hope you're religious, because you're going to need all the religion you can get. You sneak into my house, what's going to happen to you? I'm going to say, let me get to the judge and get some piece of paper, tell him to get you out here. No, you're going to leave now.
Well, there was I think they rounded up 250 in Charlotte
That's a drop in the bucket. The rest of them were warned.
Well, it was, and it is. And then I heard last night a group was meeting at a church and to give the illegal immigrants that were there ways to hide, ways to avoid the.
Those are the people I would put in jail.
Did you see the video? I saw it on X and a couple other places of the empty schoolroom classes. There was classes that half the children were out during this time in Charlotte. That ICE was there. They were staying home, being hidden.
Is that because they were that many illegals in our school system? Oh, okay. Who's paying for that?
We're paying for
I can tell you who's paying for it.
We're feeding them.
U.S. Representative Sheila McCormick of Florida, a Democrat who took $5 million from disaster relief.
Hey,
bless her heart.
story.
Go to jail.
Yeah, she was charged with stealing and laundering $5 million from the Federal Emergency Management Agency.
Was she
which
released
is
on her
FEMA.
own recognizance?
I'll probably say, well, she's claiming she's innocent.
Everybody, I've been to Central Prison. You ever been up to prison? You ever been to visit a prison unit?
Yep.
How many people up there said they didn't do it?
Every one of them.
They're all innocent.
Well, she got this through the alleged scheme was carried out through her family's health care company.
Her family,
Yes.
not her. She had nothing to do with it.
Well,
Right?
the Justice Department has accused her of stealing disaster funds, laundering them, and using them to support
Bless them.
her congressional campaign.
There's campaign fraud right there, don't you think?
Yeah.
Election fraud? What isn't that fraud?
She's a beautiful woman.
Where in her campaign funds did she say where they got the money from?
Well, I'm sure you would have to go to her FEC reports and take a look at them and see where
I
all
hope
that.
somebody
I'm
is.
gonna have to look that up later.
Well,
See, I would look for everything I could to hang on her and then hang her.
Right.
probably for $1 million, I might look handsome, but $5 million, you could look as nice as you want.
Right. Yeah.
Current polls been released. Voters here today, because you know how that's going to happen. They're blaming the president. About twice as many say President Donald Trump, rather than Biden, is responsible for the current economy, the current conditions we're in. That's not what they were saying when Biden was president. 3 times as many say Trump's economic policies have hurt this country. And they said the same thing about Biden, by the way, last year.
Mhm.
Approval of how Trump is handling the economy hit a new low. Disapproval of his overall job performance hit record highs among core supporters. Supporters of Donald Trump are not as happy as they were in the beginning. All of this is catching up. It didn't start with Trump. He has not helped it. It didn't start with him. After the government shutdown, the GOP and the Democrat Party have had lower favorable ratings, both of them. And roughly 6 in 10 people say the president and the lawmakers on both sides do not care about people like us, about the normal people. Voters think Republicans have a higher and a better plan for border security. Well, no kidding. Better plan for immigration and for crime, while Democrats are seen as better on affordability, wages, health care, and climate. What have they done for the climate? I'm waiting. What have they done for health care? Those prices are through the roof. Wages? They raised the wages and then the cost of everything else went up. $15 for somebody to work at a fast food place, taking orders over the PA system or the little drive-through. $15 an hour for that. And they wonder why the hamburger costs $5 and you get a burger that's about a quarter the size of what it used to be. A quarter pounder is what 2 ounces? They didn't do that either.
So wait a minute. Those machines they have in now where you have to place your own order make $15 an hour?
Well, the people who are manning those machines do.
The people manning it is you and I and Lee if we do it.
When it gets over there to somebody who has to pull it off and look at it and says, okay, do that.
Yeah.
They're considered taking orders. Views are divided on Trump's peace deals, making the world safer, and the administration's strategy for dealing with drug traffickers. I think the strategy for dealing with the drug traffickers were killing them. That's number one. So we will never have to deal with those individuals again, that when they blow up their boat, when they sink that boat and they don't find them, it's okay. as far as I'm concerned, it's fine. I hope the drugs don't get into the ocean. They need to be careful about that.
Speaking of that, news last night, the newest FBI most wanted former Olympian from Canada is now being compared to the two biggest drug lords that have ever.
Wow.
And he has trafficked more than 15. The reward is $15 million, but 60,000 kilos of cocaine from Mexico to California every year. He's now hiding in Mexico under different aliases.
How much is that reward for him?
$15 million.
What you doing this weekend?
Let's go to Mexico.
No, you're not mean enough. I need some mean people.
Who's not mean enough?
You're not mean enough.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be doing the game.
You're way too nice.
After the game, we're loading up.
I got the
black SUV. Well,
no. They're like marked cars. Why do you drive something like that?
I've got it.
Why?
Because we have to look official.
Who wants to look official?
He's being protected by the Cerro gang in Mexico.
He'll eventually come out, and they'll eventually catch him. He'll probably get caught in a shootout or something. And
he'll just be a really small caliber bullet.
We'll see what happens.
22 with a silencer on the gun. You know what the silencer on the gun is?
Muzzle.
Touching the skin.
Oh.
There is no noise.
Yeah, today is former Vice President Dick Cheney's funeral.
Yeah.
And there are all but four living former vice presidents that are attending, and Trump and Vance were not invited. I can understand why. And so flags go back up at sunset.
So that's why they were at half staff.
Yeah, they were still it was originally
some of them were at half mast.
Yeah, half mast on the ocean, half staff on the land.
Half mast on any of the waters in some countries have half mast as well, and some naval installations will have it referred to as half mast.
Well, anyway, they go up at sunset today, full staff. So, if you have a light on your flag.
I'm kind of tickled that our listeners agree with everything we're talking about.
They're not calling.
No, but that makes me feel like
wait a minute.
We're pretty confident.
Maybe the phones are broken.
I'm confident that.
Hello? That one's not broken.
Well, I guess everything that we're talking about is making sense to our listeners, which brings me up to
scare some of them though.
This is scary.
The deplorables. The anti-deplorables.
Going back to what you were talking about, food prices and stuff. This started going up during the Biden administration. Remember how bad eggs got and how bad gas was and how bad everything was. Mm-hmm. And I've seen gas come down since Trump became president. We all can agree to that. Gas has come down.
Well, during the Biden years, the prices for gasoline were blamed. The prices for food was blamed on the prices of gasoline because it took so much more diesel fuel. They cost so much for the truckers to bring this product over here. And even when the prices on diesel fuel went down, the prices on food still went up. Well, somebody's making a mint, and they're not telling us. There's just nothing different than hurricane gouging.
Right. I have to agree to some extent with that, because look at the price of beef. To buy one steak is $25. Okay, why? The price of gas has gone down. Mm-hmm. The cost of, and we're getting most of our beef, I hope, from the United States right here with farmers.
The farmers are not making any more money for those cows they're slaughtering.
And I don't know.
Farmers are the last ones to get the money.
Yeah.
I just want to know, President Trump, when are prices going to go back down? And yesterday I saw Hakeem Jeffries give a speech, and I wish I'd been there because I just wanted to get up and just, but he went on, and that was not, it was a love tap. Okay. Oh.
So is my golf club.
I've heard of domestic abuse cases before. I just don't know that, Your Honor.
I just don't understand.
Here we go.
I
Who
just,
is it?
it's got to be,
Steve.
it's Timmy. I just don't understand why prices are getting worse instead of better. Is it because of the tariffs? Is all our Cheerios and cornflakes coming in from overseas? I mean,
It's because of the people that are raising donkeys. They're charging too much money to go cut their feet off. Or
well,
something.
those steaks and Cheerios aren't coming by donkey.
Some of them are. Hey, Timmy.
They may have to.
Give me a donkey break.
How many pounds of cow can a donkey carry, and how long would it take to get from the farm to the market?
All depends on how big the donkey is and how strong he is.
I'm just trying to figure out how much.
A donkey.
How much would it cost to feed this donkey to go from a farm or ranch to a processing company, and then from there to the grocery store?
If the feed is not the biggest deal,
it's
the time it would take to get him from point A to point B.
Well, we got plenty of time.
Yeah, but people get hungry, and
they'll get over it.
The shelves are empty before you can get them filled back up. It's just, but part of it is a little bit on your import goods. Part of it is a little bit, and it's always been that way. Tariffs, we've had to pay tariffs all these years.
Yeah.
And now the other countries have to pay tariffs, and so that just makes the price go up some more. But and a lot of it is you got there's a truck driver shortage. There ain't no truck driver shortage. There ain't no truck. It never has been. And all I hear is truck driver shortage. What it is there's truck drivers out here that making what I was making 20 years ago. And they're paying peanuts. And like I always say, when you pay peanuts, you're only going to have money. And that's why you got these non-domiciles running up and down the road on the trucks, which they're trying to eliminate them, and they shouldn't have never been in a truck to start with, because the rule has been in there since the 30s.
You said non-domiciles.
Right,
what do you mean?
Non-domiciles.
Non-domiciles.
That's non-U.S. citizens.
Illegal aliens.
CDL. Well, you can even get a visa. And that's still called a non-domicile. You can come over here with a green card and try to get your truck driver's license. And now you have to you're supposed to go to college. You got to go to college to learn how to drive a truck now. You just can't walk in and say, I want my CDL. It don't work.
Trying to figure out what college professors I've ever had that I would have trusted to teach anybody to drive a truck. That would have been scary for the people I knew.
Oh, I've been offered a couple of jobs at somewhere in Coastal Carolina. Got one, and they're not truck driving schools. Coastal Carolina Community College. I don't think James Front is either, and Miller Mott. They are not truck driving schools. They're licensed issuing schools.
Yep.
Get you going there. You get your CDLs in 4 weeks. Stop. You still don't know how to drive a truck. But you can get them.
Timmy, is Miller Mott? Do they teach truck driving? Do you know?
They do.
They teach you how to get your license.
Yes.
So they're basically giving you driving lesson tips.
Basics. Yeah, they're giving you basics. And what Miller Mott does, and they charge a high price. I think about $5,000 to go through that school. But what they do is they take these trucking companies like Snyder, PST, and other these Swift. Swift means sure wish I finished training. That's what Swift means. and there's some more, but I won't air them on the radio.
Sure wish I finished training. I like that one.
Yeah, sure wish I finished training. And the thing about it is they'll recruit them, and what they do, we'll pay your tuition, but you sign a contract to drive for them for so long, and then they put a trainer in the truck with you to teach you how to drive. Now, here's the kicker, because I've asked this question. I asked a guy one time, he had a trainer at the truck stop, we were getting to you. I said, I got you a trainee, huh? Yeah. I said, well, how long have you been driving? Oh, about 2 years. I said, now you're a trainer? Yeah, I'm a trainer. I said, I back more miles than you have, son. said, I've been around. I said, I have driven around more cat houses than you drink coffee. Let me tell you something. You don't know. You have no clue what goes on out here, and you've only been doing it for 2 years. Here, kitty. Yeah, that's right. But,
Next time in the studio with the mics off, remind me to tell you about a story.
Oh God.
Okay, but
Truck drivers.
But if
and
a whole lot of your groceries are not going to go down overnight, we told that when it first happened. It's going to take a long time for that to trickle down.
Well, then
And
get on the program. Let's get. You got to start somewhere. What's the problem? Why can't we just start?
I paid a little bitty thing for tuna salad the other day.
Oh God!
And it was fantastic tuna salad for $7 and something, and it wouldn't have made maybe one sandwich.
Ridiculous.
The way I put it on.
Just be able to get a
Ridiculous.
pound of T-bones for 99 cents at Whaley's.
Oh yeah, you can get them. And here's something else. Here's something else tickles me about that, and I laugh at them all the time. I got these people, these roadside beef sellers, and pure grass-fed beef, and if I'm around one of them, where'd he graze at? Oh, they're local.
Where?
I said, well, then when you got done, yeah. I said, well, when you got, did you put him in a stall and slaughter feed him for 4 weeks? Well, no. I said, well, do you realize if you take a half a pound of hamburger out and you fry it, you'll come back with not even a finger full, and the rest of it's going to be full. The frying pan's going to be full of water.
Yeah, I see.
They look at you.
There's a truck.
Now, west you can do it. Go ahead,
Timmy. There's a truck that parks on Highway 24 in that little shopping center every so often. Ribeyes $20 for a bunch.
There's a pound of bacon I'm showing here. I'm going to put this up on Facebook today. I've been putting it off. There's a pound of bacon right there. It looks pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pound of bacon, y'all.
It's all fat.
Now, when I trimmed that bacon, here's what's left of that pound of bacon in the fat department. That's the fat. Now, when you go a little bit further than that, that's all the meat that was in there, and that's before it was cooked. Two-thirds of that 1 pound of bacon was fat. 2/3 was fat, but it looked really good in the package.
Of course it does.
Oh,
it's marketing.
Chrome don't get you home. But what Chris was saying is talking about the guy sitting on the side of the road selling meat.
Yep.
I hadn't talked to him, but I asked him, did you slaughter feed them? And they give you the look.
Oh.
And folks, if you go out here and buy this grass-fed beef, ask it where it grazed. If it grazed out west, even when they graze them out west and they bring them in,
what they going to feed them to get them here?
Slaughter pens. Well, when what they do, and even when they bring them out west and they put them in to transport them, they feed them alfalfa, feed them other kinds of stuff. What they're trying to do is dry them up, bulk them up, dry them up. Right now they got a lot of waterway. Now out west they don't have much water, so they don't have a lot of waterway. But that's what you got to look at, folks. If you buy local grass-fed beef, you've got to put him in a stall somewhere and feed him. And my daddy had everybody back today had their own recipes for slaughter feed. And you could go out to the feed store and they'd have big bulk tanks of molasses. And you go there and get I need 2 gallons of molasses. And it's not supposed to be edible, but it sure make you want a biscuit every time you open up that spout because it smells so good.
I understand.
So that's what I'm saying. Be careful with that. Pay your premium price. Get you some premium beef. But Chris, I know exactly what you're talking about. But you've got to get rid of the water in the beef.
I don't buy it from truck stands.
I'd like to go on the side of the road buy a hamburger or.
Where did we go with all this?
You're right.
All right. Timmy, thank you.
It's just going to take a long time for the prices to go down, if they go down. And I told you
they don't go down. They don't go down.
They're right. I told you remember when gasoline, what was the gasoline when Biden got in office? Was what did you say it was $1.86 or $2 something? And when he got in office, it skyrocketed.
We were
It's never
paying
going
close
to
to
come back down that low.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll never go back down that low again. Every time gas goes up and it comes down, it never comes back down to the original price you paid for it before.
I paid 27 cents. And actually, I paid 11 cents one time in Florida. All right, Timmy, thank you.
All right, y'all be good.
I do want to agree with
when people become accustomed and they will, okay, I've adjusted my style of living here that I can afford to do this. I cut everything else out, or I can do this, or my wages have gone up, or I've done this, or I've done that, or maybe I eat less of this piece of meat. Maybe I have it for 2 meals, but then they get accustomed to it, and then it's okay from then on. It never comes down.
I started this whole thing when I was talking about what Hakeem said.
Your fault.
And well, I never got to say what he said.
what did he say?
He was on there yesterday blaming all these high prices. Said once Trump became president, we were hit with all these high prices. Now, I can remember when Biden was president, the prices starting to skyrocket. And remember how inflation kept climbing. But you had to have heard Hakeem Jeffries yesterday. He was just, I'm like, okay, the Epstein files are over now. This is over, that's over. So let's start with something new. And now it's the economy and the prices. I mean, somebody's got to give us a break.
One of our listeners, Thomas, makes a good point. People wanted or expected everything for Trump when Trump took office within 90 days.
Right.
Everything was going to be perfect.
What's wrong with that philosophy?
Look, there's nothing wrong with it, but in reality, that's not going to happen. And I still contend to this day, if people actually look, who makes the laws? Who makes the laws?
Oh, God. The people that we stupidly elect.
Right. Not the president. He doesn't make laws.
Nothing to do with
he signs them into law. He does not make the laws. If people have problems, don't be looking at the head of the country. I know where the buck stops here, and it should have stopped before he started with Social Security, but that's another issue.
Yeah, that's right.
But
that was Roosevelt.
The President Trump, Biden, go back to whoever you want to. They signed the laws into effect. It's those other knuckleheads that cause it. That's me.
I'm just tired of prices.
Tired
of it.
If we would rebel, and I don't mean riot, I don't mean running, protesting in front of the places, just don't buy. You know, and when you stop showing up at places that are charging too much, and somebody says, or you go in there and it doesn't take very long to tell somebody in the store, I'm not going to pay for this with this stuff. I'll leave. I'll go somewhere else, or I'll just do without.
Well, I'm learning.
When enough people do it, when you do it all by yourself, that doesn't work. But when enough people will tell them in a way that's not protesting and screaming and carrying on or picketing or doing whatever, but if you just go in there and every time somebody goes in there or they make a call, hey, I just want to let you know I cannot come to your store anymore. I'm going to give you my card back that doesn't give me a discount anyway. Here's your grocery store shopping card. What does it do for me? Nothing.
Yeah, when I buy
but
now,
you keep track of what I'm buying so you can increase the prices on it when I come back.
When I buy now, it's either on sale or buy one, get one free. I am now making my own bread. I am now making my own butter. And I just yesterday made some mozzarella cheese.
Yeah, and I saw 3 deer alongside the road yesterday coming back from Wilmington. And I was disheartened. That was, but seriously.
Right.
No, that was, but that is a total waste.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
If we could have harvested those deers, oh my God, my English teacher would have shot me.
Yeah.
If we could harvest those deer, even if it goes to the prison unit, that they don't have to go out and buy food. If it's used for some purpose,
it is a waste. I mean,
it's a total waste.
The buzzards or turkey buzzards, whatever they're called, that's eat this roadkill.
Yep. They clean up a lot of stuff, which is fine. The possums and the other stuff. That's what it's there for. I have no problem with that.
Thank you, Jesus. It's time for sports.
Huh? Oh. That must be time
There you go,
for.
Chris.
I think it's time to let's not just yet, just hold on. I think it's time we need to go. For those of you who do not have a hunting license, maybe it's time to go get one. That is also a sport, right, Chris? But that's your turn.
Yes, hunting and fishing are sports, and they're they're great activities, and so yes, they are sports.
So once we finish the ball game Friday night, Saturday morning before dawn, we could go get in the woods in a tree stand, and probably Saturday night have some wonderful venison, right?
Yeah, for sure. I look forward to it, Rayford. We'll you go ahead and head out there, and I'll meet you in the woods on Saturday.
Okay, I can do the shooting. Can you do the skinning and cleaning? Can you process it for me? We'll share.
I have a processing shed.
There you go.
I don't hunt. But I have one. Yeah.
I know
We'll
where
take
you-
a rain check on that. How about that?
Well, Chris Miller, the other Chris over here, the other, y'all got to change your last names at least. You both start with an M. But Chris says he's got a way to process the deer at his house.
Yeah.
So we can take it out there.
Look, we just had one of our listeners, Robert, said, ring the bell for sports. Ding, ding, ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding, ding,
Let's
ding,
do
ding,
it.
ding. Here we go.
Hey, Lee,
Yes.
speaking of deer, every time Rayford talks about deer, I'm reminded about that guest that you had maybe about a year or two ago that talked about why deer flock to the side of the road because they're attracted to the cigarette butts that people throw out there. So,
I know. I will never forget, especially the one with lipstick on them.
Really? There's a question that's been plaguing sports fans since last Friday. Did you get mentioned at Northside's game last week?
No, they did not mention me. The PA guy was Mr. Foster did not throw out any shout outs.
How's Thanksgiving dinner going to turn out this year?
He enjoyed. Tim used to do the ones at Southwest when he was working at Southwest High School, and always gave a little bit of extra ump when the Stallions got a first down. And of course, the opposing fans didn't really care for it very much, and I'm sure the opposing fans don't really care for the Jacksonville PA guy very much because of the extra spice that he adds to it. But it's all in fun, and I think
it's not. It's all like it's supposed to be. It's to get our guys going, and get the ladies going, to get the guys going, to get the fans going, to get the guys going. We're going to win.
Well, somebody said that there was a lot of sad faces and some tears when it was announced that Chris wasn't at the game.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
I'm sure they were relieved. Oh, well, we don't have to deal with Chris Miller. We don't have to see him. Yeah, I'm sure they.
Well, how about this week? Are we going to be able to say, "Hey, there's Chris Miller down there"?
Yes, but I will be on the other side, so people can't find me and throw stuff at me. How about that?
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, sure.
I'm going to the other side this week. I've got long limbs.
Chris, I do have to say, I'm sorry. I do have to say that earlier I was talking about your Down East Prep report that is on the Man Cave Media. That's on every Wednesday. And I was so tickled to see Amari on the show yesterday.
Good job.
Amari Pearson. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, the young man. I mean, he's very soft spoken,
Yes.
and didn't really made sure he didn't say things that would come across a wrong way. So a lot of these guys are very soft spoken and just kind of don't want to be. I mean, they enjoy being in the spotlight, but they don't want they're wary about saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, he was very
It
humble.
was good to have him, and it was a lot of fun. And we have to get Steve Goodson on y'all show one day.
Yes, I'd like to have the both of you in here. But the thing is, when you got somebody like Amari in there, if you guys would do one thing, you could get more reaction from them if you would do one thing. If you would take those yellow hankies off your walls, and so they won't think they've got penalties being thrown at them all the time, you would be a lot better off.
Yeah, and I know there's hankies. I mean, right there, we need to get you a box of yellow hankies for Christmas.
I'm collecting my own as those refs keep walking by them, going, just take them from them.
Yeah, and then they, but I think a lot of those penalties that the Cardinals get is sometimes they are a little extracurricular. Maybe they need to tone it down a little bit. Maybe they get a little excited. But that's football. It's an emotional sport. But they certainly need to kind of make sure they don't make those mistakes Friday night and beyond if they win, because one small mistake could be the end of it.
The 15-yarders, I understand that's everybody getting excited. There are too many of those little 5-yard. They're not so much anymore. That little offsides thing. There would have been a whole bunch of those things in the first part of the year, first part of the season. Cardinals offsides. Well, you drew somebody offside. What? Stay on your own turf. Just long enough to throw that ball.
I do want to say one thing going back to Amari. He was a very polite young man, very humble, and like soft-spoken, like you said.
He was outnumbered.
I had turned the volume up a little bit every time he talked, but I was very impressed with the young man. And I hope to see some of the other players on the show also. I'm very impressed with Jacksonville's team this year. Well, the last couple of years have been outstanding. But, thanks for that great interview. That was good yesterday.
No, we enjoy it, and I think people have really responded to the Prep Report podcast that we do, and we really enjoy bringing the kids. I mean, these kids have stories to tell, and the coaches have stories to tell. It is a little difficult sometimes because we have to. It does take a lot of work. I mean, as y'all know, it takes a lot of work to try to get the coaches in during the middle of the school day and the kids, but. Like I said before, a lot of our great athletes are really good student athletes. So their teachers and the principals, and they don't mind if a kid steps out of class for maybe an hour or so to do this, because they know they give them the benefit of the doubt, knowing that they're going to handle their business when they get back, or do their homework and things like that. So if a kid was struggling in school, then a coach or principal would be like, hey, let's not have this kid because he needs to be he or she needs to be in the classroom. So, but again, I think the coaches and the principals and everybody give the really good student athletes a little bit of a benefit of doubt. And I mean, that's what it's about. You do the right things, and you get rewarded.
All right, Chris. A week ago at this time, can you remember back that far? Right now, it's only a week ago.
So.
Are you good? What was your prediction for the Cardinals versus Hornet last week at this time? What did you say the score was going to be? Do you recall?
I think I said the score was going to be like 42-20 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, he really wasn't that far off. Look, after the first play of the game last week, I would have taken anything above. Because that opening play
I think
was
that just opened the door for the Cardinals to be. That just you got them going.
It was weird. Everybody stood up and was cheering, and when that happened, everybody just sat down and looked at each other like, "What just happened?" It was crazy.
That was not a sign of things to come, and they found out.
I was texting Chris, "Opening catch, TD."
Lee was poor Lee was a little worried.
She
and
was.
A few minutes later,
you should have been. You should have been sitting beside her.
Hey, and guess what I have now? Let me get it.
Oh, God.
No, there you go.
Oh, now watch your ears. Close your ears.
Everybody, cover your ears. I now have a cowbell, a Jacksonville High School cowbell.
Yes. And Lee, I have a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
I can't hear you. My ears are now ringing on both sides.
Chris, going into tomorrow night's game with Sanford, what do you think? I mean, from what I can tell, they're a running team, basically a running team. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, they are a strong running team, which I think does benefit Jacksonville because they have a strong running defense. But we talked to Bo yesterday about that, and Scotland County is one of those teams that will run and lull the defense to sleep, and then when they're not paying attention, they'll throw the ball over the top and make big plays that way. So they've done that several times this year. So Jacksonville's going to have to play well and stay focused and do what they've been doing all year that they're going to win. So, but it is going to be a good game. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Jacksonville, Bo Williams, the coach, and Scotland, they do have some history with Scotland County. It has a little bit of a history.
Wow.
I do.
He used to be the coach there.
So Bo was an assistant coach under his father at Scotland for a few years, and then he left to go to Jacksonville. And then his father, Chip Williams, actually won a state championship with Scotland County back in 2012. So there's a little bit of a we all remember Bo Williams, have a New Bern connection, him and his father, but they also have Scotland County connection. So that's a neat little storyline going forward.
As a storyline, but somebody asked the football coach at Jacksonville High back in the 60s, he was my PE teacher as well, Andy Hewlett. They asked him one day when we were getting ready to play New Hanover High. Okay. He said, that's one of the students in the PE class said, well, coach, you went to New Hanover High. You played football there or coached there or did something there too. And aren't you going to be kind of torn? He says, son. And he got very graphic in his language, very colorful, because he did that on a daily basis with us. He explained to that boy and everybody else, he said, I'm the coach here. Jacksonville High, my colors are red. I mean, he went off. Wow. Don't anybody question my loyalties or my thought processes here. It will not be good for you.
Well, Chris, it may be warm enough Friday night that you can wear your shorts.
No, hey, I'll wear the shorts if Chris Marks finds the skirt and wears the skirt. How about that?
I love it.
Not a skirt, it's a bra.
That's a car bra. When it's not on the car, it's a skirt.
I tell you what, our friend Chris Marks is never going to live that skirt situation down.
No, he's not.
Hey, Chris, what would it be worth to have a skirt start dangling from the top of the press booth over where the PA guy is? Suddenly just happen to show up Friday night? Do you think it would get some attention? Maybe some media attention?
Let's just hang it on the doorknob. Going into the press.
So what's your prediction on the score?
Well, like I said, I think if Jacksonville plays well and stays focused and it doesn't minimizes the mistakes, and I think they should win, but there's a big difference between should and will. So, so again, they'll have to play well and they'll minimize the mistakes, and if they do, I think they should win maybe by a touchdown or two, but it's going to be a good game, and it always is this far in the playoffs. And but if they do win, they get to practice next week, especially including on Thanksgiving morning next week. So that's always a big deal for high school football teams practicing on Thanksgiving morning, and so we'll see how the Cardinals and the rest of the teams do. So I will be at the game on Friday.
And Chris, real quick, that game. Cardinal win on Friday. The game the following Friday on Thanksgiving, is that just the fourth round, or I'm still confused?
Fourth round, but it's our third. It's our
third
We're
game.
Into it three,
right.
But we don't have to play anymore until we get to the state, right? After that one.
No, if Jacksonville wins this Friday, they'll play in the fourth round the following Friday,
right?
And if you win that, you get to the state semifinal, which is how far they went last year. And then you win the state semifinal, then you play in the state championship.
If we're in the state semifinals, would that be here or somewhere else?
Yes, it would be at Jacksonville, since Jacksonville is the number one.
Just want to be sure.
They would have home field advantage.
Okay.
And when does the state regional semifinals start?
That would be that weekend, the 5th.
Yeah,
some of them were taken up.
So this I don't have the calendar in front of me, but like I said, after tonight, next week is the fourth round, and if you win the fourth round, then the following week is the state semifinal.
Because I noticed of course, it was Max Prep's report, but I noticed that a lot of the schools were taking a bye on December 5th, and that's why I had asked you. I sent you a message if that was real or not. But is there a possibility? We've already had one bye. No, there
wouldn't be any buys, late in the round. So I think what happened is some of the different classifications have like a lesser round or lesser round. So that's probably what happened with some like the 1A when there's very little schools in those classifications.
Gotcha.
So, I think that's probably what happened. And maybe somebody just didn't update their information. But Jacksonville will still have to win tonight. They still have to win 2 more to get to the state final.
Okay.
Okay, that's
All
weird.
right, Chris. See you tomorrow night, sir.
Yeah,
And Lee, thanks for mentioning my rant and rave on the podcast yesterday.
that was good.
I do. I do take that, and I will say it again. We had a football team last week that had a historic season and historic win the previous week. And again, you can't predict the future, but I just think it was kind of I don't care if they're playing 8 hours away, but to schedule another sporting event at your own school when your football team is playing in the playoff game, I just think that was kind of
insensitive.
Some better decisions could have been made.
Yep.
I agree 100%.
Totally agree. And I don't think the weather's going to play a factor for the Cardinal fans not to be there tomorrow night.
No, we'll be
Right,
there.
right.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
No.
So maybe y'all could call the Alzo County County Athletic Director and get his thoughts on on why other schools
Yeah, we know him.
think it's neat to have sporting events while there's third and fourth round home playoff games. So that might be a good topic.
Okay. All right. We know who to call. Sure do.
Just don't call them tomorrow night.
And real quick before you go, I know you have to go. What's your predictions for Northside? Because we still have another county school in the playoffs.
I think Northside, if they play well, they'll have a chance to win too. I think I have them picked winning 30-20 or something like that. So, but they'll have to play well, and they played good enough to win last week. So, we wish everybody the best of luck. So we'll see how everybody does on Friday.
All
All
right.
right. Best of luck to Northside.
Thank you, sir.
Take care, partner.
Thank
Bye.
you, Chris.
Northeasterly winds offshore today, 10 to 15 knots, diminishing to 5 to 10 this afternoon, 2 to 3 footers every 6 seconds. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon. It's really ugly looking out there right now, but it's okay if you want to get out and do a little fishing. Better this afternoon, though. Easterly winds tomorrow, 5 knots. Good. Becoming southwesterly in the afternoon, seas only around 2 feet. Okay for you ripple riders. Sounds and rivers flat, increasing to a light chop in the afternoon. Saturday, got winds out of the southwest, 15 to 20, kicking up a bit. Gust to 25, kicking up even more. Seas 3 to 5. Sounds and rivers choppy.
Today, partly sunny with a high near 64. Northeast wind around 6 miles per hour, becoming calm in the afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 50. Friday, mostly cloudy with a high near 70. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 60. And Saturday, a chance of rain mainly after 1 p.m. Partly sunny with a high near 79. So it looks like we're going to squeak everything through this week.
It was a special day, this date,
Yes.
back in 1945.
Oh, do tell.
Mhm.
Do tell.
November the 20th. 24 Nazis, high-ranking Nazis. Their trial started in Nuremberg, Germany, for their atrocities committed during World War II. The Nuremberg trials, as they were known, were conducted by an international tribunal made up of representatives from the United States, the Soviet Union, France, and Great Britain. It was the first trial of its kind in history, and the defendants faced charges ranging from crimes against peace to crimes of war to crimes against humanity. Lord Justice Geoffrey Lawrence, the British member, presided over the proceedings, which lasted 10 months and consisted of 216 court sessions. October 12th, the following year, a year later almost, 12 architects of Nazi policy were sentenced to death. 7 others were sentenced to prison terms ranging from 10 years to life. 3 were acquitted. Of the original 24 defendants, 1, Robert Ley, committed suicide while in prison. Another, Gustav Krupp von Bohlen on Hallback, he was sentenced for just his name, was deemed mentally and physically incompetent to stand trial. Among those condemned to death by hanging, a whole bunch of them, and they hanged. 10 on October 16th, 10 hanged. Goering, we know him, one of the more infamous, right?
Right.
who at sentencing was called the leading war aggressor and creator of the oppressive program against Jews, committed suicide by poison on the eve of his scheduled execution. Nazi party leader Martin Bormann, condemned to death in absentia, but is now believed to have died in May of 1945. Trials of lesser German and Axis war criminals continued in Germany into the 1950s and resulted in the conviction of 5,025 other defendants and the execution of 806 for the war crimes. There were so many movies that have come out, so many documentaries that I've seen over the years, decades, about the teams that would go down and look for Nazis in Argentina. We found that they were in the United States, Nazis. There were some prisoners, Jewish prisoners, who bumped into Nazi prison guards in this country decades later. There were many stories that were written about it, many true stories. And these people were arrested. There were the Nazi hunters. They went out there looking for them. And we're talking about 15 years after the war.
Right.
They were still looking, still rounding them up. Anybody they could find. Nazis were... Imagine if we did that today. Do you think the terrorists of today are any less worse than the Nazis of that decade, that period of time? Do you think that the Osama bin Laden group of individuals out there how many times have you seen leading up to, you probably have never seen an actual beheading. I'm assuming not.
No.
Or any of the executions.
I have.
I've seen it. How many of those other people, how many of those people were less worse
I'm glad I've been
than
shielded.
the Nazis?
It was, anybody that does that needs to go to hell. Excuse my language.
Somebody's got to help them.
All right,
They got to. You got to pave the way. You got to get them there. They got to be put on the train.
Yeah.
Now, how do you do that?
I don't know.
Well, I ask you questions. How do you do that?
Well, you do as our Navy SEALs have done now.
No, that was done in combat. But how do you do it? If you catch them, you round them up, and you know what they are. Well, how many of these terrorists have we rounded up and executed? The answer is none.
None.
Why? 3,000 people on one day.
Why didn't we?
Yeah. Don't tell me because we're more civilized.
Okay, I won't, because that's exactly what I was getting
I know
ready to
you
say.
are. I read your mind.
Yeah.
But that's not. We were civilized. The United States was part of that Nuremberg trial. We were civilized then.
Maybe we have a higher standard of respect for life.
Whose? Theirs or ours, or the men and women who perished on that day jumping out of the Twin Towers to their deaths below, knowing the flames were going to kill them? Do we have more respect for the terrorist lives than we did for those people? I ask really mean questions, don't I?
No, they're not. No, they're good. Thought-provoking questions, because off the top of my head, no, I can't answer other than I think we're just more. We have more love in our hearts for mankind, even our enemies.
Do you think these people, if they were given the chance to get out, they would do this same thing again? These terrorists that we turned loose?
Yes.
They said they will.
Yes. They don't.
Do you think they're back there helping other young kids learn how to do the same dastardly deeds that they did?
Well, if you go, I know we're talking a little different in the landscape of things. We go back to Vietnam, and we hear the stories from some of the Vietnam veterans that will talk about it. And that we're facing children.
Yes,
children with guns.
Absolutely. They were not children. They were people
sad.
with guns. They were killing us.
Right. They're a very young age.
Young they were.
Less than 10 years old.
Yes, they were.
And now these terrorist groups are teaching them younger and younger the same thing.
Yeah.
They don't have, I know they say they do it because of their belief in their religion. I don't know a religion that speaks of killing.
Their book does. Kill the infidels. Anybody that doesn't believe like you do, kill them.
Oh.
Haven't you? I had a copy of the Quran that was sent to me. Did you have one? Did you see one? Have you read one?
No. I just I love everybody. I mean, I really sincerely, I know, and people are going to go, Chris, you're not telling the truth. I really do love
the way I
everybody.
put it, you're a better person than I am.
No,
I
I'm not.
have to agree
Yeah,
with
you
that
are.
because I can go off and my potty mouth will start, and Chris is just so nice, and
You
he's
got a
just
potty
like,
mouth?
yeah, it can be at times. And Chris is just
You want to
like,
give us an example?
but
Don't.
God will forgive them, and God will forgive you. And I'm like, I try not to use any unflavorable descriptions around
Unflavorable,
Chris.
did you say?
Well,
Yes,
He's,
unflavorable, because he's such a nice guy.
he is.
Chris Miller.
No, you.
Oh.
Well, Chris Miller too. He's one of my
Oh.
favorites. But you just like, I've never even heard you say a curse word.
I don't.
I'm just like, and I'll
Anymore.
be going off, and I'm like,
I don't.
Anymore.
Never.
Never.
There's too many words you can use instead
I
of it.
wish I could be
Dad
like
burn.
You
that.
know,
Hades.
the funniest thing was a gentleman that worked for my dad.
Uh-huh.
He's a bookkeeper. He used to work in a bank until the bank got robbed over New River. He quit. He said, the man stuck a gun in my face and he said, I was gone. So he went to work for my dad's construction company. Mr. Wilson is a great guy. He
Yeah.
working in
Mr.
a construction company, wore a three-piece suit every day. I mean, in a woodworking shop.
Oh my gosh. Well, I try to use respect when I'm around people that don't know me.
But-
and when I'm in certain situations, I'll be very respectful in my language.
You try.
But sitting around with
Right.
friends or something like
Yeah.
that, you might slip and say something, but not Chris.
But,
I don't care how mad he gets. He's just like,
he
be okay.
he said, he would sit
It's
around there.
fine.
He said, the reason people use so many profane words is because they do not have a good grasp of the English language, because there are a lot of other words out there that you can describe
what are you trying to say?
that we don't know that much about good English. We have to resort to the
Well,
other
I'm glad
stuff.
you added we to it.
I mean, I'm talking about we as in the masses.
Pointed out.
As the masses out there.
Yeah, I understand.
Chris is the exception.
I would say he's an exceptional
Right,
person
Kathy?
when it comes.
Kathy.
She's doing a charity run right now.
Oh, shoot.
That's
Stephanie. We're Stephanie.
No,
Kathy.
she's never heard me.
No, she hasn't heard you.
I don't use them.
Okay. Well,
But-
I mean, I've just got to clarify so people out there won't challenge you.
Oh, well.
I mean, I do agree. There's other words that you use, like bananas and stuff like that, but
I like to use the word bologna sandwich a lot,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
as in Bravo Sierra.
See,
Yeah,
there you go.
Bravo Sierra, bologna sandwich. They start with the same thing, and they both mean the same thing. if you boil it down to basics,
Right. Yeah.
do you not think so?
I mean, I won't go out in public and use
Bologna
language
sandwich
like
tastes a little
that.
bit better,
I
so
mean,
I would
right.
expect. I don't know for a fact, but
What I'm trying to say is I try to be very respectful, especially in front of strangers, people I don't know, in public. But I also have my other friends that I know I could be comfortable with letting it loose.
she does it for attention.
Now, I never you don't hear me on this show going, Bravo Sierra. Yeah, after the mics go off, maybe, but, not on this show. So anyway, we were getting to
That's a good
our
thing.
weather people.
Weather people.
Our weather people. Did you do the weather people for around the area?
Do them usually once a day, and did
Yeah.
it this morning.
Yeah.
Remember?
You did it already?
Earlier, yeah.
That's right. You did, didn't you? I'm
You
used to doing the
were-
second half.
You were 48, I think.
The things change, by the time we get here to the 8:20 time frame.
It's all good. It's all good.
But around here right now, it's it was up to 50, wasn't it?
It was.
Now it's 47 again. Woof, woof,
It's the wind.
Mm.
woof. This is zigzag.
910-333-0139. Give us a call. Whatever you want to talk about. I mean, we've covered a whole array of subjects this morning,
Yes, we have. We certainly have.
but
We haven't covered them enough. There are a lot of things out there that are going on.
Find out.
I studied a lot dealing with the Nazi, the post World War II, because I was a little older than y'all, and I don't remember World War II because I wasn't that old, but I remember us walking in the yard, was a little kid out there, and looking at planes when they're flying over. Do they have a zero on them? Do they have? We as little kids would run if we could not see a star, a U.S. star on the side of a plane when it flew over.
Wow.
I mean, we were concerned about it. Not that we ever experienced it. My parents. I mean, World War II. My dad was gone most of World War II, but they would drive over to Riceville Beach at nighttime. She and other members of the family, they go to Riceville Beach. Driving on Riceville Beach, you had to have your headlights taped up except for a little slit in them. Everybody had blackout curtains. I refer to blackout curtains from time to time. At nighttime, if you had lights on in your home, you were required by law to have no lights visible outside coming from your windows. Why was that? Do you know why?
no.
German U-boats were patrolling our waters. They know because they got a German U-boat raft from some guys that came off. I forgot whether it was at Topsail or Riceville, somewhere along in that area. But they found a raft where they came ashore, and they caught them. They caught them, I think, Southport. But anyway, German U-boats, they come up on a moonless night. There's no moon up, and they lie offshore, and they wait for vessels to go between them and the shoreline. If the shore was lit up, those vessels were silhouetted. There are two of them right off Emerald Isle area that I've dove on, both of them that were sunk. Oh yeah, by Mr. E.B. Taylor. Do you remember that name in high school?
Yes, I do.
The history teacher. I had him for world history, then I had him for U.S. history. I hated world history, loved U.S. history. I liked him at that time. He gave you no questions, no tests that with answers that you had to circle or do what you had to write an essay.
yeah.
Everything was an essay for him. And all I had to be in ink too, no pencil.
Oh, no.
And you better be able to read it or you lose. But which I learned to write. I credit him for being able to write better than I do any English teacher I've ever had, because I had to write a story.
Wow.
That's
I
interesting.
liked
know
it. But he, as a kid, grew up Pine Nose Shores, somewhere up in that area, Morehead City area. And he was talking to us. I did not know about this at the time. I found out about it later when I dove it after I left high school. But he, as a kid, watched the sky lit up when the ship was burning off the beach during World War II.
Wow.
They could see it.
Wow.
He was describing it. He didn't know anything about where the wreck was or anything else then, because he would have told me and I would have remembered it. Because it was not about that time I was really into learning to dive, and I was getting ready to do it, which I did a year later. And that's one of the first real, what I call deep water dives. It was 70 feet in those days. That's what we went out. And my electronics teacher, Mr. Matthews, Darrell Matthews from Swansboro, he was also a charter captain.
Yeah.
He was a charter captain. And he took us out to go diving out there. We had a whole bunch of us got together, 7 of us, and he took us offshore.
Yes.
So we dived. That was the first big ocean dive that I did, other than stuff right clear or close to the beach or at Cape Lookout. So yeah, it was. I dove on a part of history that I studied about or listened to him talk about during history class. He brought it home. It was not in any books that we had
Right.
Wow.
then nor now, probably. And of course, I dove on the U-352 also, and Queen Anne's Revenge.
That I would like to see.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. To answer Thomas, no, dag nabbit is not a cuss word.
No, it doesn't fit under
Dag
cuss words.
nabbit, no.
Tom knows. He's been around me enough.
There's most
He knows.
southern things that we say that there are no words. It doesn't translate to Hindi. And bless your heart, and you know that sounds really
It's
cool.
all
Doesn't it?
how you say "bless your heart."
Yeah, and who you say it to.
It's all in how you say it. It has a double meaning.
No, it
And we
doesn't.
all-
It means
yeah.
bless your heart.
No,
Comes
it
from-
does not.
What do you think if Chris says it?
If a Southern
If
woman,
Chris says it,
if you're sitting at a lemonade party
he's not a Southern woman.
and you're gossiping about this woman over there who's a skank, and you say, well, just bless
I
her
haven't heard that word
heart.
in a long time. Have you?
No.
There's a difference. And you just say, well, bless her heart.
You old
You know
skank.
what that means. Oh, skank. And then you have grandma over here who just knitted a quilt for somebody, a comforter for a throw. And you say, bless her heart. She's such a good person. See, there's two different
And
meanings.
then
to
you
that.
got the grandmother out there in Kentucky or Tennessee with that corncob pipe sticking in there. When she starts to bless somebody's heart, oh, watch out.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. That's right. There's
She
many,
got corn liquor
there's-
over here, a
there's
corncob pipe. Who knows
there's-
what's in it? And
two different meanings to bless your
From
heart.
two different
or bless her
grandmothers.
heart. And that's a Southern way of
getting
a
away with it.
lady getting away with it.
That's what it amounts to. Oh, God. Why did we get here?
I don't know how we got here.
It's your fault.
It's something to
had
do with
nothing to
Chris
do-
Miller.
Oh,
No,
man. It's his
y'all
fault.
quit blaming Chris on everything.
I didn't blame you. You did.
I didn't blame him. He started it.
I see.
No, he started it with the skirt. Chris did.
Well, you started it by losing the skirt.
I didn't.
And then having to tell us all about it.
And it
I lost
really
my
wasn't a skirt
skirt.
in the first place.
Right.
No, it wasn't a skirt.
Skirts are not on cars. You protect a car with a bra on the front of it.
But it wasn't for protection. It was for show.
It's decoration.
Well,
It's decoration.
it could be that too.
And it's a scallop that he
And
had.
speaking of
that
which,
looks like a
why
flag.
are undergarments have to be so frilly and everything else? I mean, they're not going to be seen or not supposed to be. What's the
It
big
makes
deal?
a person feel good to know they have ruffles under their blue jeans.
Seriously,
I mean, what
Chris,
is wrong with
do you
it?
understand? Isn't that the most useless waste
Oh,
of money
Tim's
you've ever
calling
seen?
back.
All of that.
Well, no, it's not a waste
It's
of
not a
money.
waste.
If it makes you feel good.
How could it be a waste of
Timmy.
money? It's less cloth.
It makes you feel good.
You haven't, but I have because I did fashion work a lot and shooting.
Oh my God. You should know better then.
Shooting bikinis is what I'm talking about. There's less
Mhm.
material, the higher the price. That is a fact.
Because
is
it
that
has
not
to
true?
be made certain way and it has to have those wires in
Timmy,
there
bail me
to
out.
help keep it
Or am
up.
I on a
I had to come back in on that bless your heart thing. And Lee, if you're telling me that you got a bunch of women sitting around and one says, well, Lisa's husband slept with Anna Jane the other night.
Skank.
Bless her heart. Does that get her off the hook?
blast that old skank's heart.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
and,
that old
and, you
skank.
know, it's just like it's just like the term "I'm sorry."
And the horse she
And
rode it
I had-
on.
Right. And but I said somebody was sitting there one night and they had done something. And said, well, I'm sorry I done that. I said, you know what I'm sorry that does? What? I said, it makes the person that did the dirty deed feel better about what the heck they done.
You know what I've had?
And they just looked at me.
Somebody taught me 40 years ago, for some of these individuals that are skanks or whatever you want to call them,
Word of the day.
Okay, y'all ain't heard it in a long time.
they come up and say, I'm sorry. And then, you know, the response from, and now I use it if this person is a low life and
Right.
doesn't mean it anyway.
Right.
I said, yeah, and your mama probably said the same thing about you.
Oh my. Bless your heart.
I pulled the John Wayne bit. Well, I'm sorry. Don't never say you're sorry. I'm gonna give you a sign of weakness.
That's
But
not
I
John
changed
Wayne.
it
That's
around.
Gibbs.
Yeah, that
That's-
was John Wayne
Gibbs.
said.
No, that's
Rule
what Gibbs.
47.
That's what Gibbs says on NCIS. Yeah. Apologizing, saying I'm sorry is a sign of weakness.
Yep, that's what John Wayne used to say before Jethro Gibbs came along.
Is that right? I don't remember Wayne.
Yeah, he said. Yep, I can give me about 10 minutes. I'll remember the movie.
I will. There's a bunch of them.
It takes 10 minutes. I'm older now, so it takes a little bit longer.
Well, it's not that it's because you're older, but because you're older is because it's like a computer. It's a certain amount of memory is built into a computer, and the more you fill it up with stuff, the longer it takes to go all the way around and to sample everything before you find out what you're looking for.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that sounds about. That's a good way of putting it. I'm just. Somebody asked me the other day, who was that? I don't remember their name. That's why I called her Shug. And they look at me.
That's a lot.
I said, if I don't know their name, I call her Shug, call him Bud or Hero or something like that. Who is? I don't know.
Or Skank.
But I remember what they said. It might have been Skank. Maybe I need to change it to Skank. I don't know. I'm glad you brought that up. Bless her heart. I'm going to get off me. I quit bugging.
We're going to get in trouble. You realize that, right? Again.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
No trouble here. People know.
We're teaching them anyway.
Wow, they don't know. They knew now.
Come on, guys. Somebody joined the fun here this morning. 910-333-0139. We're not right. I'm going to tell you that. We're just not right.
Well, you brought up saying I'm sorry. There's two ways to say I'm sorry, too. The first way is to mean it. Oh, I am so sorry, Chris.
I'm so sorry you caught me.
And then there is Rayford.
That's what the crooks always say.
And then Rayford is like, yeah, I'm sorry, whatever.
I'm sorry you're the idiot that you really were born as.
There's two ways to say it. Okay, wow.
Oh, what else is cooking here? Country star brings beer on stage after winning major award at star-studded ceremony. Yeah, and that's a headline, and that's taking up news.
I watched the CMA.
Father of three dies in tragic hunting accidents. Family mourns pillar of home. Hunting accidents, they happen every year. It's not the cost of doing business; it's the cost of somewhere somebody is screwed up.
Right.
There's the only way. There's no such thing as a hunting accident. I don't care if you put your gun over the fence and you crawl over it or whatever. If it goes off, you didn't have the safety on, or you had a bad gun. You shouldn't have had shells. Whatever. It's a person's fault. Those guns don't do it by themselves. I didn't own it. I shot one gun that my cousin had and found out that he had a double barrel shotgun, and he had a bad sear in it. And when you pull the trigger, each barrel had a different trigger, right? Some double barrels have one trigger and you just pull one and then pull the other. This one, you pulled the right trigger and both barrels went off at the same time. Ooh. That was a double dose of stuff in the back, and that would not have been an accident anywhere. That was intentional failing to get that thing taken care of. And he said, yeah, it happens on occasion. I said, no, here's your gun. You need to take it home. Get it fixed. So he did. But people, they get killed. Children get killed. People get excited. Deer hunters, duck hunters, Lord of mercy. People bird hunting, and they shoot level. I've seen people, I've been on quail hunts where a bunch of people will be walking through a field and dogs ahead of them, and a bird over here takes off, and there are hunters over here too. Mm-hmm. Whoa. You leave that bird alone. You let those guys over there shoot the bird. But people get excited.
Yeah, there's two meanings to that too.
People get excited, and the gun goes bang, and somebody gets hit.
Right.
It's a tragic loss. It is all the time. And this guy, father, 3 kids left behind. He's a young man. Mm-hmm. Avid hunter.
It's tragic.
I had a great uncle. He didn't get killed. He did something stupid. He said that was really stupid. They were deer hunting early in the season down in South Carolina. They do deer drives with dogs there. That was a big deal. And had a whole bunch of hunters surrounding the area. And it was a big snake where he was standing. And he says, I didn't want to shoot the snake. He says, Lord of mercy, all that, everybody would have thought they would have shot a deer. He turned this gun around backwards.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
And he hit the snake with a, maybe they had a Browning. I think he was a Browning guy. I was too. And he turned it, grabbed it by the barrel, and hit it. Well, there's a round in the chamber.
Uh-oh.
He jarred the trigger. I'm going to guess the safety was not on, but I don't know. And it got him in the gut. It just, it tore out a big chunk of him. But he lived.
oh, good.
He lived.
Done.
He died when he was much older, but he said, we went down and said, I won't ever make that mistake again. And he looked at me because I was just beginning to hunt.
Mhm.
He says, boy, don't ever do something like that. I've made that mistake for you. Never forget those words. Boy, don't ever do anything like that. If you got to kill the snake and you don't shoot it, it's all right. If that's your message, shoot the snake
And then have them for dinner.
or whatever.
I just want to mention, so yesterday, I don't know if we covered the Epstein foolishness, but it did make me think of this last night when they were doing all this stuff and they're talking about redacting and what stuff they're going to what they're going to release and all this other stuff. I have come to believe that society is more interested in smut and gossip.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's what I've been saying.
Than actual news
Right.
from the old days. I'm sure the Inquirer was around back in the old days. I don't even know if it's in the supermarkets anymore.
It doesn't need to be.
300. Well,
Because the smut is in here. It's on mainstream media every day.
so Kathy and I were having a conversation last night, and I had said this to a customer service representative company I was talking to. I said, "Let me just tell you something about computers. They're evil.
Thank you.
Computers are evil. Cell phones can be evil, but these things right here, and people may disagree, and that's fine. Give us a call and tell me you disagree, but these things are evil.
They can either be good or they can be evil.
Yes,
So how you use it?
it's all how you use it. But a lot of people, let's face it, the scammers.
Yep.
There was that story with the 81-year-old gentleman in Florida got an email. It was a scam telling him that his bank was going to lose his money. He needed to pull it all out and put it into a crypto Bitcoin.
Oh,
Bitcoin.
God.
And he had already put $15,000 in the machine before the police showed up and said, "Sir, you're being scammed. Stop it right now." And these things are evil because people take it to use advantage of the elderly, those that don't know how to use a computer.
And those few that get caught, what do you ever do with them? Oh, they give him community service. Let him work in the library for a while. Maybe they got a position for him at the bank.
Yeah. That's who I want counting the change
Why
back
don't
to
you
me.
give all of these people that, Mr. Judge, Mrs. Judge, all you judges out there here in Oslo County, why don't you give all of those individuals out there? Oh, this ought to be fun.
You ought to
Oh,
take that
let's
one.
go with it.
It's going to be, yeah.
Let's go with it.
Hello. Hello. Is anybody there?
¿Cómo
Can you
estás,
hear me
Ted?
now?
¿Cómo está usted?
Vous parlez-vous français?
You stayed on long enough for them to get credit for that call.
The number, the reason I answered it, not knowing who it was, but the reason that it says Suggs Chiropractic Office in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And
Cloning that
did it
number.
even leave a number? I didn't even look at the number. Did it have a number? It probably does somewhere. I had a 939 number.
Just my last comment on this Epstein garbage. Why does anybody care? I mean,
Natural curiosity.
Well, I know, but CNN posted the tree
Right.
of their alleged tree.
Mhm.
And Woody Allen, There's a Surprise was on it.
Duh.
Duh.
Steve Bannon was on it. There's
Yeah.
a Surprise.
Prince Andrew.
But
Prince
I mean,
Andrew.
on it,
Former Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
in what capacity was it on it? Because they got emails from him or they were emailing him? Was there an exchange of emails? Did they reply to an email? Did the email indicate that they got from him originally, that it was from him? What was the email? What did the email say?
Well, actually, don't know, don't care. The thing that does bug me is a lot of the media that's out there right now, they still continue to show a very, very, very young Donald Trump with
Yes.
next to
He had his real hair. It
Bill
was
Gates.
orange.
Yeah.
Bill Gates.
yeah.
You know, it's
Now-
just like it's the normal way
And-
these days.
and-
People
and-
just
and-
have to know the smut.
In 10 years, if this telephone number that just called me from Suggs Chiropractic Company and wherever it was,
Let me
Fayetteville,
look it
that's
up.
probably not a real company. It may be though.
Yeah.
But the number's not going to be them. But if somebody looks it up, they find out, hey, these people are running drugs out of this company right here. This is the number, Suggs Chiropractic
Wait, what
Company.
was that number?
I don't know. It's
Just
anyway.
kidding.
They're running drugs out of there, and oh my God, they called you and you kept them on the phone for 42 seconds.
Mhm.
What did you say?
Yeah, we have one in Texas.
What's going on? I mean, those are the kinds of things that can happen with emails. Oh, we need to go back to snail mail. At least there's some tracking.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because people complain, oh gosh, we don't, or Lee, you mentioned one day this week that someone said, I didn't get any mail. Well, maybe you didn't get any that day. Maybe you weren't supposed to get any.
They don't want to hear that. No, they'll beat you up. Oh, and I'm glad you brought that up. Do you know there's a Texas judge that has recently been suspended for falsely having a UPS driver arrested? Now, had that been a USPS driver,
Federal
it
offense.
had been a federal offense. But what he did was the UPS driver came into the courthouse to deliver packages. The elevator was down, and he'd already been instructed to leave the packages next to the elevator. Well, he was doing that, and the judge started shouting at him, telling him he didn't have permission to leave the packages on the first floor. And the judge went over there and yanked the dolly right out of the UPS driver's hand. Yeah, and started yelling at him where to leave the packages, etc. And then after the driver started carrying the packages upstairs, the judge ordered a county sheriff's deputy to arrest the UPS driver.
No, sir. Your Honor, that arrest is on me. It's not on you.
The delivery driver alleges that he had been detained for a full 5 minutes without being read his Miranda
That's
rights,
called kidnapping.
and that his cell phone had been seized for a total of 9 minutes. All this
That's
is on
theft.
tape. Yes.
I'm sorry,
Well,
Judge, you're going to jail
I think the judge has lost his
after
mind.
you get out of the hospital. That's a cold cocking routine
Well,
right there.
the judge is being charged with a Class A misdemeanor.
By the
so-
time I get through with it, it'll be Class A. Oh God, I'm littering the floor with blood.
Well,
Don't reach for my stuff, okay, dude? You're going to take something from me that one of my working tools. No, that's theft.
I would say his judging days are over. Yeah,
New York's mayor-elect.
the elect.
I'm not sure how. I think we need to get on a pool for him. You remember those death pool things that they used to put out? Do you remember reading any of those things about people would sign on for a pool about how long so-and-so was going to live,
yeah.
when they were going to die and stuff like that? I don't see this guy making it. Seriously. And I'm not saying that he should.
Or shouldn't.
No, I didn't say that.
Brave.
He has now. He is the mayor-elect.
Right.
Mhm.
He ain't in office.
Right.
New York City police, he said, will not be helping with immigration and customs enforcement measures under my watch. And this is right after Tom Homan, from federal immigration from the border czar, said that they're coming to New York, coming to the Big Apple. He said if they do, New York City police, that anybody that helps them will be committing a crime.
How many other mayors in the United States have said that so
Too
far?
many.
Where the ICE agents still went in and did their job?
I'll tell you what, if they go in to do their job, and yes, the police department cannot, by his order,
Mm-hmm.
let me just go back to North Carolina because I know knew the law here, how it was. You're a cop. You're not even in my jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a cop. I ask you for assistance in arresting, detaining, doing something for somebody right here.
Mm-hmm.
You refuse. You know what? I could arrest you. I'm assuming that law is still in the books. You would be required to provide assistance to any officer requesting your assistance. It was a $500 fine, misdemeanor, if you refused.
Well, that's
the way it was in North Carolina.
Right.
I don't know what New York, God willing, somebody, they ought to make that nationwide. And it should be, it could easily be done by the federal government. If you refuse to assist any federal agent in the performance of his duty,
mm-hmm.
you will be arrested. Now, is any cop going to disobey the mayor, or is he going to disobey this federal agent? I'd be disobeying the mayor and say, listen, this federal agent trumps your order,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor. Sorry, you got policy. He's got laws.
Yeah.
He got a jail cell.
Yeah.
That's the way that goes.
You just for a minute. So in the Charlotte was, I guess they're getting ready to pull out of there.
Yeah.
But I did like what this one reporter did. They gave both sides of the story. They talked to a
Doesn't
lady
happen.
who said, I'm legal. But they came and they asked me questions. Okay, well, they're just asking you questions. But then they asked a lady, and she says, oh, I'm not for it. I stopped and bought 2 dozen donuts and coffee and gave it to them and thanked them for what they were doing.
Good
Wow.
She
lady.
goes, and she said, I voted for this to happen in 2020. I voted for it to happen in 2024.
Good for her. That's what we need to do. When they show up here, let's go buy them some donuts. We need to buy all of our local guys donuts every day.
Yes.
Really
Well,
need-
going back to Charlotte on Monday
Mhm.
with the ice being out there, and I told you there was a lot of classrooms that were empty. They counted right now, estimated 30,339 students out of class that day.
Unexcused absence?
Well, that just did not show up for school that day. 31% of the Charlotte metro school area is Latino anyway. So, but yeah,
Were they doing it in protest, or were they
30,000.
doing it because they were,
Imagine hiding. But,
Well,
I'm going to tell you, folks, you can run, but you can't hide. And if you run, the way we used to say it, if you run from the law, all you can do is go to jail tired. You just keep running. You're just going to be tired when you get to jail.
well,
So the way it works. It's like the guy yesterday, 115 miles, day before yesterday, 115 miles per hour.
wow.
No.
can't wait for the extra charges.
Yes.
We can, what do you think about this? Do you think it would be overbearing to have every car in this country with a device attached to it, that a police car within close range to it could just hit a button and stop it?
Stop the car.
Not stop it dead, but slow it down until the driver has to pull over. Because these people that are running and fleeing,
Mhm.
it's dangerous stopping them, and it's dangerous for them to continue driving. Because even if you break off the chase, these guys don't slow down; they keep on going.
No.
So that's a big fallacy. But what do you think? Would that be too overbearing?
You'd probably have so many people protesting it would never fly. But those people that lived on the in the house that car ran into,
But they would love it, wouldn't they?
I bet they did.
But
Remodeling.
you can't do that. But
Yeah.
why not? If they can put these devices on your card that you have to blow into after you're convicted, be able to drive it again. Why can't you put a device on there for everybody who's been convicted of these heinous crimes like speeding and eluding and doing all that? Put any car that they've got in their name, or that they're operating has to have one of these control devices installed on it. That any police officer, when they see that car takes off, hit a button, and it comes to a slow stop.
Well, if you have OnStar,
I know that.
I have OnStar. You could call OnStar and have my whole vehicle shut down.
Oh, I
Because
understand.
I'm
that,
out there
but-
doing 115 miles an hour. Please call OnStar because I've lost my mind.
All right. What's your time?
What are you doing 115 miles for anyway?
That's what I'm saying.
And
If I'm
that
doing
pickup truck.
115, I've lost my mind. I have to real quick. You brought up
We got to go.
Carla Blackwell yesterday about the protest she had filed in Kinston
Yes.
against it. She's gone and filed new ones again, basically the same thing. But I just want to quickly read the first paragraph of her protest statement. Failure in the voter database. Listen. I protest the Kinston election due to the Board of Elections' blatant failure to uphold the law. North Carolina law is crystal clear. Felons may not register or vote until their entire sentence, including probation, is completed. Yet in November 2024, while on active probation, I was issued a voter registration card by your office and told I was eligible to vote.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave it there.
How does the Board of Elections get their information? Where do they get their information? I know that deaf people, every
Courts,
month, every
right.
week or two, that they're notified of any deaths
Right,
for the
right,
voter rolls.
Right.
But do they get, again,
Good question.
Registered
For you
deeds,
to
clerk of
file-
court.
not to vote, but for you to file to
Mhm.
run for office, why aren't you put under the same background scrutiny that anybody that wants to go buy a gun is?
I just got tickled though, because she's more or less admitting she's a convicted felon.
You have to. I can tell you this. I just recently had to get Kathy a duplicate license, and that is one of the questions that is in to get your license, a new
Mhm.
license sent to you. It's questions. Are you a convicted felon?
If you lie about it, you're going to be
Yeah.
arrested. But I mean, why? Gun dealers have to run a background check on anybody who wants to buy a gun.
Right.
Ding.
Right.
You fill out this paperwork. Anybody that registers to vote, registers to vote, and especially anybody who files to run for office. Because here's a problem with the people who file to run for office. We hear about it later on
Mhm.
that they have been convicted in the past, but they ran and they got elected. Now what do we do? Have another election at whose expense? Yeah, ours.
Ours.
Once they're
Now,
elected, that's
Why
it.
not? Why not just stop them before they get that far? If they're running for office, right now you can't get everybody that's filing to register to vote, but anybody running for office, they need to pass that background check.
I'm sure we're going to cover this more tomorrow, but it brings up a question. She's admitting that she is a convicted
So
felon.
then, therefore,
Yeah.
She's running for office, and she's
That's why I had to read
She
you.
just admitted that
Yeah.
she violated another law.
That's why I had to read you the first paragraph of her statement
Yeah.
on her protest form. And the Board of Elections has already said, nope, we're not doing this. And she's getting ready to file it again. But yeah, very first paragraph, convicted felon. But yet they let me vote.
she wants
I'm like,
more.
what?
She wants more than her 15 seconds of fame.
Oh my gosh.
Ask me tomorrow about.
Tomorrow we have a special guest.
I
Yeah.
might ask him about that. A
Right.
couple of things about people who maybe they get a gun, they get a concealed carry permit, they have guns, and maybe at some point in time they get calls to their house
Right.
that they have taken overdoses
hmm
and they get Narcan.
Uh-huh.
What should we do about those people? Should they have a gun? Should they be able to keep a gun? Should their concealed carry permit be revoked? I'm just throwing
That's a
this
good
out
question.
for a question. It's not on the
Good
books that they can do it, but should it be? Everybody screams and hollers, just take away all guns. No, take away from the guns from the people that should not have
Yeah.
them is the way it needs to be done. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
And our special guest tomorrow is going to be the sheriff,
That's right.
the high sheriff of Onslow County, who's announcing that who has already made the statement he's running for re-election. Yep. And we don't know if anybody else is or not.
I've heard
It's up to
rumors.
them.
I've heard gossip.
Well, he's a Republican, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll wait and see.
So I assume that the Democrats, the party there, would find somebody to sacrificial lamb somewhere down the line to run against him. I mean, they would be silly
There will be
not
somebody.
to.
Yeah, I know.
They
there'll
would be silly not to. That's just the way it is.
I agree. But who do they have?
Democrats is not me. I'm not a Democrat,
I'm trying to think.
nor a Republican.
Right. Yeah, we know.
I'm not
we
even
know.
a human.
We know.
You're live and local, real talk, where
We
some
know.
of us
We know.
are awake, but some of us are
Never woke.
never woke.
Have a blessed day.
Have a good one. Did you say bless my heart? What?
Have a blessed day.
Oh God! Did he call me a skank? We'll see you in the morning. Bye. The word of the